Morning, guys. Today we're doing something a little different. As you know, I absolutely hate tree stands. I don't like being in them. But for a while now, the other guys I hang out with have been telling me all about this new thing called a saddle. I think you guys have heard of it. So we're going to talk to Ken today and Nick about saddle hunting and compare it to stands altogether. Ken is going to run us through all the functions of a saddle. He's going to try to convince me, of course, to use one. And he's going to talk about the difference between a saddle and a fixed stand, whether a climber or a lock-on or a ladder stand, and the pros and cons of both. So we're going to go down here and we're going to talk to Ken, and he's going to tell us all about the saddle. All right, here we go.
So basically, when I set my first stick, what I go by is my knee height for the first step, because I know I can step that pretty comfortably. Not much beyond that. When I go to set my next stick, I usually just set it close to like that. You know, I want to go about there. I'll go a little bit higher, because I know it's going to slide down per se. And then I just put my head, hold it. And that's how I set it up before I get ready to actually climb up the tree itself, as I get the first two set. Okay, so we're going to go over the saddle. I have the Phantom tethered saddle. So basically this is what I'm sitting in the tree in while I'm out there. I just added a couple packs on there. So basically when I'm getting ready, I am going to wear this in when I come into the woods. But basically setting this up. Pretty easy, just a regular belt buckle. These come up through, just hook into your leg tabs. A little snug. Same thing with this one. And then the saddle itself is pretty much set. This is your bridge here, this is what you're going to be connected to the tree with. Normally wearing this in, I would have these ropes in my pack. So this is the actual rope that I'm going to use when I get up the tree. And this is going to be what's hooked to my bridge that holds me into the tree. It's called the tree tether. So since I'm going to put this last, I'm going to have this in the bottom of my pouch. And this is the rope. We call this the lineman's rope. This is the rope that I'm actually going to be climbing up the tree with. On each of these, you'll see I have a Ropeman 1 on them. A lot of guys use the press-it knot, which works pretty good, except for when you're in cold weather and you got to try to get it loose, or it's been raining and it gets wet. It's hard to move it around. This thing, literally, I can be climbing up the tree, and I'll show you when I'm climbing up the tree, and I can literally just one hand down and pull this to adjust it how I need to. Same thing this way. I just hold the clap when it has tension on it, and it just easily slides back the other way, and then it automatically locks in, can't go nowhere. So that's what, when I get to the tree, I'll wrap it around it, I'll adjust for where I need it to be. Then the other things is I use this for when I actually get up there. So once I get up and get set up, I'll wrap this around the tree, and this will hold my bow, my backpack, rangefinder, whatever I want. Off these clips, it's legal to use everywhere because it does no damage to the tree. I'm not screwing nothing in. So I highly recommend this one. It's the tethered one. It's just designed well, works good. So again, I would have that in the bottom because I'm going to use that after, and everyone that hunts out of trees has these. This is just your basic rope to pull your stuff up, your bow and backpack afterwards. So the other thing, after I get my sticks set up, I got the tethered one sticks. I paid a lot of money on these. I could have went with a different brand, honestly. Not a dig to tethered or anything. They're super light, that's why I bought them. They lock to the tree good and everything. It's just the foot. What I'm having a hard time is the foot depth on these. I just wish it was a little wider, or maybe gave me a little more foot depth this way from other sticks that I've used, but they're a pretty good stick. So how I would do this here is, depending on, sometimes I carry 4 sticks, sometimes I carry 6. But how I do this is, I know I put the last stick that I'm going to take off. I run this little wire tie I put on my saddle, just so when I'm climbing up it, I can reach back and pull my sticks off. And then when I get up there, I have my Predator platform. Some guys use a ring of steps. I've done that. It's good because you can get around the tree pretty good with it. I prefer this because I like to sit all day long, especially during the rut. And this is super comfortable to be able to have this to stand on the sides, back edge. And when I get up there, I'll go over all that stuff too. Same thing. I just hang this off the other side. Another wire tie. So basically what I would do is, so that's all the equipment. If you want me to go over the climbing part here, I can go over that. Yes. So basically I would get to the base of my tree, take my backpack off, set it on the ground, my bow, set that down. I would pull this rope out. Hook one clip to my bow. The other clip, I already got one on there from last year, but I'd hook it to that. Straighten all this rope out. And all I usually do with this, because I'm using this to go up tree, is I just tie it off to my side. And then I try to put the stuff on the side of the tree that I have it on the side of my saddle. So when I'm going up, it's not getting in my way over here. When I get to the tree with this, basically this is your lineman's rope. I go around the tree, and so on here there's 2 different pouches. This is for your bridge, and it has like adjustment knuckles, and I'll go over that when I get up the tree too. But basically it has these here. I just hook it into this side, and we're going out. I hook it into this side. And then this is why I'll switch to the rope ends. If I had a press-it knot on here, I would have to loosen it up and adjust it with both hands. But with this, I can leave it out like this. And if I decide halfway up the tree, I can just pull the rope one hand, so it's really slick, and then I'm locked in. I'm going to loosen it back up just a little bit. I haven't climbed yet this year, so we'll see how bad I make this look. So basically, I'm just going to get up the first step. And this is a little too far away from the tree than I like, so I'm just going to pull up a little bit of the slack. Slide it up there. Now if there was a branch or something, I would actually just stand up, unhook this, bring it around the branch and bring it back down. But they're not, so. But then I would get up on this step here. I would reach over to on this side here, because that's where my sticks are. I'd pull it off. And you can go, if I'm setting up for deer, I'm going really slow, especially because I like to hunt as close to their beds as possible. So I'm making sure that I'm not accidentally knocking off any of this metal or touching anything. So usually I just kind of get a measurement from what the stick height is. I put it up on there. This part here is pretty slick. You're not really hooking in any buckles or anything. You're just basically getting in these grooves. And then you pull the stick down. That's what I do, and I try to pull the bottom out so it really sinks in there. And then that stick is set. Same thing. I'll go to my next one. And same thing, I pull the next stick off from my wire tie. Kind of get a height that I want. I want it right about here. Now this is where I'm going to hang my platform. And basically when I'm setting up my platform, I'm thinking about which way the deer are coming in because I want them to be on my strong side, my shooting side. So if there was a main run like right through here, I'd have my platform facing here. If there was a main run through here, I'd put my platform over here. Basic tree stand stuff. And I put that on there really good by the looks. There we go. So this you got to go really easy with. I did have am steel on here, but I went back to the buckle because I weren't able to get this to seed really tight to the tree without it being buckled. So we'll just, for video's sake, we'll just go off this side. So when I do this, a lot of times I'll put it fairly close to my stick. So, and I'll show you why I do that. It's just so I can step off the platform onto the stick if I have to get behind the tree. There's a deer coming from the wrong direction. So, you want to make sure that the buckle is closest to you so you can really give it a good pull tight afterwards. But basically you go around the tree with it. Get it set where you want. Now with this, you fold it up. This is the part that I didn't know when I first bought this. I could never get this to set really tight on the tree. So I had to go YouTube it. Why? Basically you got to have it up, pull the strap as tight as possible, and crank down on this. Hopefully I'm not in the way of my stick. But really crank down all your weight on this. Blah. Then you can cam it open. It's a little crooked, but not bad. So now it's pretty solid. So basically the next step is just going up above this. And I step up on my platform, give it a little weight, make sure it ain't going nowhere. Okay. So when you get to this part here, this is where I'll reach in my pouch. I'll pull out my tree tether. Set this up on your tree. So this is a matter of what I was talking to Rob earlier about, is there's a learning curve to this. Some guys like it right at forehead. Some guys like to have it down here. Some guys like to have it as high as they can on the tree. That is going to come down to your personal preference and spending time getting used to your equipment. There's definitely a learning curve here. So basically, just bring it around, go through this loop, and you just pull on. I like mine right about here. And then you just take your bridge, hook it in, and now you're ready to get rid of your line. And I can pull this up. I like to pull it up so the pressure's on here, not on my lineman's belt. And then I simply just take my lineman's belt off. Just throw it back in my pack. Alright, and then the next thing is, now I'm going to get ready to pull all my hunting stuff up. So basically, that's where I'm going to use this strap here. So, I just got to make sure I'm going the right way. I am. Again, this comes down to having stuff in your way or out of your way. So this is why you really got to practice with this stuff a little bit before you actually go out in the woods and start hunting out of it. You'll be way more efficient with it. You'll kind of have an idea how you want everything set up. How this works is you basically pull it through there, hook it into one of these molly loops, get out of the way, and just pull it tight back to you. So I know that's wrong because I'm going to have my bow over here. So at this point I'm getting ready to pull up my gear and set up for my hunt. And then I'm just going to start pulling this up. Bow. I don't shoot with my quiver on, so I'm going to pop my quiver off. I'm going to hang my bow off my bow hanger. Quiver. I want my quiver very handy, just in case I do need to make another quick shot, get another arrow. So I just like to put it right here. That way I can just literally reach out, grab another arrow if I need to. So at this point I'm pretty much set to hunt. I would adjust my bow probably a little bit here so I'm not reaching down so far for it. But yeah, right here I'm pretty much ready to get some deer. So I'm set up so my strong shooting side is over on this side. So basically I can just draw back and shoot anything through there. So a big thing that I keep hearing is shot angles. You're not able to make all your shots. I think if you spend a little bit of time in this, really knowing your equipment, you can make every shot very easily. I got my normal setup here, so I can literally, normally, like every tree stand hunter, I can make this strong side shot right here. If the deer gets by me and starts getting over in here, all I do is take a knee, put it into the tree, and then I lean out off here, and now, my backpack's right in the way, but now, once I'm out here, I can shoot all of this here, just by putting a knee in the tree. Now I can shoot here, and plus I had all that strong side stuff that I could shoot before. If, say, for some reason the deer comes in on my weak side, I have a couple options. Some guys like to bring their bow up over their bridge, and then they like to get up like this, and then they're making all these shots here. I personally don't like to do that because I feel like it's a lot of movement. So what I like to do is I like to put my bow under my bridge, and I rest the ropes against my shoulder. And for one, that gives me stability. I'm not coming out of this. It let me lock in, and then I shoot like this. Last year, I had a buck come in. He came in right where he was supposed to, but right under me. He busted me, and he ran back behind me. I knew he was going to cut downwind of me, so basically all I did at that point was I pulled that down. I just turned around on my platform, again put this across me. I'm locked in, and I just waited for him to cut downwind, and I shot him. But basically I can shoot 360 off this with no problems all the way around. It's just a matter of spending time in here and knowing where to put your knees and stuff. So if one comes in, say way back here, again, I can just put my knees into the tree, slide out off this side over here, and I can shoot all this here. There's so many different ways of doing it that I don't see any shot I can't make out of this that anyone in a tree stand could make. I can make it pretty effortlessly. It's just literally knowing your equipment well, spending a little bit of time at ground level, learning how to move. The first couple times in this, and as you saw a couple times, I had a couple jittery moves because I haven't been in it for a year in practice. But like I said, everything's pretty fluid. I can shoot all this really well. It's just a matter of how you want to do it. Under the bridge, over the bridge, it's all pretty shootable with very little effort. The big thing for me with having this saddle is I can go in anywhere. It doesn't weigh a lot. I can get in any tree, branches, no branches, and to me, there's nothing more comfortable. I know some guys talk about comfortable, but again, I think it comes down to just knowing your equipment and figuring out what's comfortable for you. For me, I like to sit in it and just have my knees into the tree or beside the tree, and I have a back strap that'll come around here, and I can just lean back, and I put my hands on the bridge. Like, they should make a bridge pillow right here for napping, honestly. Because I do a lot of napping leaning in this thing. A lot of guys like to just lean, and I do this too. Sometimes I'll be here for 3 hours just sitting like this, nice and comfortable, and then, you know, my back, legs, so I'll just stand up, that's it. Just one easy movement, and now I sit like this for an hour or so. If you don't like that, you can literally sit beside the tree with your bow and stuff, and you can just sit here pretty comfortable, no problem. The good thing about this versus a stand per se, I know when you get in you put your harness on, but basically all the way, you're never not attached to the tree. Like this, when I'm in a stand sometimes I'll step to one side a little bit. I got my foot all tangled up here, but I'll step to one side a little bit and you'll feel the stand shift, and it gives me an uneasy feeling sometimes. This, I never feel uneasy because I know there's no way that I'm coming out of this.
Ken's got something to say.
So my thing is, I hear a lot of people say that I can't make all the shots. So I am willing to set up with next to anybody in a hang-on and challenge you to making all the shots that you want to make, because I'm pretty confident there's no shot that I can't make and way more efficient when I make it.
Did you hear that challenge? If you want to challenge Ken, you leave a comment. And in that comment, you say you want to challenge Ken, and we'll set it up. We'll even film it and put it on the channel.
You might outshoot me.
You might outshoot him. You might actually hit the target better. But he's going to show you that he can make any shot that you can make in any position on that tree.
With a lot less movement.
There you go. So there's your challenge. Let's see the comments, and we'll set it up. All right, guys. Talk to you later.